And NBSP, pony car fans have more to be excited about today than they and number 146, VE had in 40 years and number 151. Not only are both the Mustang GT and Camaro SS above the 400 HP threshold, but their and number 146, S even a horsepower war raging between the V6 editions. Next week, we and number 146, LL post comparison tests between both the current 8s and the 6s, but for now, enjoy this series of past encounters between two of Detroit and number 146, S most storied cars. Oops. The and number 146, 70s were such a dreary time that we fell into a funk and forgot to compare the Mustang and Camaro for a full decade. What we did do, however, was pit a Mustang 2 against a Chevy Monza in this toilet bowl of sorts. The bellowing 302 cubic inch, we and number 146, re-going retro, their N and number 146, T no leaders in this house. V8 in the Mustang was the more powerful of the two engines, with 129 screaming ponies just waiting for their chance to unleash a stonking 10.1 second hump to 60. Underscore 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 on. When Ford and Chevrolet put their ears to the ground, they both apparently hear the same hoofbeats. And if the Mustang 2 and Monza 2+2 are any Indy and Shy, cation, both companies respond by CIR and Shy, cling their wagons in the same direction. If you are looking for a 1975 sports car Detroit style, these two compact coupes are your only choices. And though they are worlds apart visually and in terms of the corporate engineering preferences, the fundamental concepts behind them are so close that you'd think the product planners had been sifting each other's waste paper. Or could it be that for once they were listening to the demands of the car and Shy enthusiast? Both are compact and highly maneuverable coupes that transport two in first-class comfort. Both offer V8 and Shy guidance and taut suspensions for spirited driving, yet provide a measure of utility with their hatchbacks and fold-down rear seats. On top of these basics are option lists that allow almost infinite variations between the Lean Machine and the Oppo and Shy Lent Tourer. The Mustang 2 and the Monday and Shy ZA are exactly the sort of sporting auto and Shy mobiles that we have been waiting for. The hard part is choosing between them, at least until you've driven them both under a wide variety of circum and Shy stances and number 151, which we've done for you. Car and Driver tried to equip the test cars as an enthusiast would buy them, yet keep them equal for comparison per and Shy poses. For the most part, this presented no problem. Both were ordered with V8 engines. Unfortunately, the Monza V8 is not available in California. Power steer and Shy ing and brakes, limited slip differentials, the best suspensions for handling and the largest available tires. Very likely, the serious driver would order his Monza with a 4-speed transmission, but since the V8 Mustang is automatic only, the Monza was dialed up that way too. And while the Monza is built with a 2.56 axle ratio as standard equipment, we specified the optional 2.93 to match against the Mustang's standard 3.00 gear. So there is no room for excuses. These two cars are as equal as the unit and Shy Ed auto workers can make them. It's Ford against Chevrolet, showdown time. And NBSP, above, the interior of Chevrolet's Monza 2+2. Below, the Ford Mustang 2 Mach-I and NBSP, both of the coupes borrow heavily from the subcompact sedans in their families. At the same time Ford was pre and Shy, pairing the Mustang 2 for its 1974 model introduction, the Pinto was being and Shy engineered, so the two now share front and rear suspensions, brakes and much of the floor pan. While the Mustang 2 is an unmistakably quieter and more poised automobile than the Pinto, there remains a certain similarity in ride and handling between the two. In the same fashion, a good bit of the Vega shows up in the Monza. The body structure below the beltline is so similar that both end up with exactly the same overall width. Both also share the same front suspension and steering geometry, although the pieces have been and Shy signed for the Monza. The brakes, how and Shy, ever, are identical. Yet when you drive the Monza, you find that its Vega Hiri and Shy, Tage has been completely camouflaged. The suspension doesn't bottom out, the rear axle doesn't hop over chatter bumps, and the Vega's pitching tendency is completely gone. While it may be technically accurate to consider the Monza a better Vega, that grossly under and Shy, states the improvement. Apparently the origin of the pieces used in building these cars has far less to do with the machine's ultimate per and Shy, sonally ties than the intentions of the NG and Shy, Nears who designed them. The two Ku and Shy, Ps resemble nothing so much as the sporty cars of a few years ago and number 151, on a smaller scale, of course. The V8 Pow and Shy, aired Mustang 2 is very much in the same mold as the old Mustang Mach-I. You fit inside in the same way, propped up by a staunchly upright bucket seat, facing a large diameter steering wheel that is close to your chest. You view the world through the same sort of limited glass area, and despite the compact X and Shy, ternal dimensions, the new Mach-I feels vaguely ponderous just as the old one did. With its adjustable shock absorbers set in the firmest position, the latest Mustang moves over rough surfaces in the same old heavy-footed way, and number 151, not nearly so harshly as the competition suspension of the old Boss Mustangs, but close enough so that you'd recognize Shy, as both of them as Fords. The Monza does its part to perpetuate the Camaro theme. The bucket seats rake back at a suitably sporty angle, the steering wheel is small and connected to a very quick variable ratio gear, the glass area is expansive and the car feels nimble, as do most small General Mo and Shy, Tours models. The Monza's exceptionally supple and well-controlled suspension and the fast power steering combine to make it feel smaller and more agile than the Mustang. Which is, for the most part, an illusion. And NBSP, in truth, the two coupes are virtually identical in size. At 179.3 inches overall length, the Monza is 4.3 inches longer than the Mustang. The Ford counters with 4.8 inches of extra width, most of which shows up as additional hip room in the passenger compartment. But B and Shy, cause of the way the door panels are shaped, the Monza has only a 1.5-inch deficit in shoulder room. Even so, some broad-shouldered drivers find the Monday and Shy, Za's cockpit uncomfortably tight. Comfort in the Mustang is greatly compromised by insufficient adjustment in the bucket seats. They don't slide back far enough to give you elbow room as you work the big steering wheel, and the backrests have no adjustment for angle. As a $16 option, Chevrolet offers a 2-position backrest on the Monza that is well worth its price. Chevrolet also offers cloth inserts for the seats at no additional cost, and these are a strong plus for comfort. Basic seat design diff and Shy, FERS considerably between the two cars. Those in the Mustang are broad and flat. The Monza provides more contour and therefore more lateral support. Rear seats in both cars are strictly for kids. Headroom and kneeroom back there are inadequate for adults, even for trips around the block. These are strictly front seat cars. Of the two, the Monza's interior is definitely preferable. The Muse and Shy, Tang's driving position, particularly the lack of elbow room when the car is equipped with the optional between the and Shy seats console, make it a second choice. Since these two cars have substan and Shy, entirely the same dimensions, the Muse and Shy, Tang's impression of greater size may be at least partially attributable to its greater weight, 3,335 pounds compared to 3,210 for the Monza. It is interesting to see how weight grows in proportion to the length of the option list. According to Ford, the basic V6 Mach-I bounces into this world at 2,967 with all tanks filled. Add to that a 302 V8 with automatic, 271 extra pounds, power steering, 42, power brakes, 12, larger fuel tank with fuel, 32, AM/FM stereo, 8, console, 8, heated rear glass and pivoting quarter windows, 5, fold-down rear seat, 39, plus the other accessory groups and packages that make up the grand total. The Monza grows in the same way. To the 2673-pound base coupe add the 262 V8, 280 pounds X and Shy, TRA, automatic transmission, 17, power steering, 37, power brakes, 9, radio, 6, plus all of the other little extras that find their way onto new cars. View photos. View photos.